Hello, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Thank you for your time. I am continuing with the investigation into Black Lives Matter, trying to find out where is the money. This video message focuses on Black Lives Matter, Greater Atlanta, Georgia. Black Lives Matter, Greater Atlanta, Georgia. And the question is, where is the tax-free money? Because this Black Lives Matter entity did complete the paperwork and the application process to earn 501c3 status. Therefore, whatever revenues they have generated are more than likely tax deductible. So I'm asking the question of Black Lives Matter, Greater Atlanta, Georgia, where is the tax-free money? This is part 2 of the Black Lives Matter investigations, which focuses on the Black Lives Matter entities that have earned 501c3 nonprofit status. Part 1 of the investigation focused on the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation and the 18 chapters listed underneath it. I completed an investigation on all of those entities, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation and the 18 chapters underneath it. And the results are listed under the BLM Investigations playlist on this YouTube channel. So here are the Black Lives Matter 501c3 nonprofit organizations according to the IRSgov website. These Black Lives Matter entities, regardless of their names, have earned 501c3 status. So some of them are called Black Lives Matter and some of them are just called Black Lives Matter with other things added, but they all earned 501c3 status. So I list their nonprofit name, their location, and their employer identification number, or EIN. And like I previously stated, this video message is focusing on the Greater Atlanta, Georgia Black Lives Matter entity. The Greater Atlanta, Georgia Black Lives Matter entity. And this is a continuation of the Black Lives Matter entities that have earned 501c3 status, their locations and EIN numbers, or EINs. And according to the IRS.gov website that I'm going to demonstrate a little later on in this video message, there are 14 Black Lives Matter entities that have earned 501c3 status. So here are the investigative questions that I ask regarding each Black Lives Matter entity. I asked the questions regarding whether or not there are leadership names available for the entities. The mailing address, is there a phone number? Does it have a social media presence? Is it registered with the Secretary of State's office? And if so, what status? Does it have IRS 501c3 status? Does it accept donations? If it accepts donations, which platform processes the donations? And then, where is the money? Where is the money? Wherever you see N/A in these tables that I'm sharing, that means not available. Not available, not applicable, but not available. I couldn't find the information. And if you see a red R, that means the status is revoked. The IRS revoked the status. Now, one thing I want to point out about Charleston, South Carolina, that's very disturbing. As you can see, the status is revoked, but yet they are still accepting donations. Let me say that again. The IRS revoked the 501c3 status for Black Lives Matter, Charleston, South Carolina, but they are still accepting donations. That is fraudulent, because the people who give money to Charleston, South Carolina's Black Lives Matter entity, they cannot write it off because it's as if the status doesn't exist because it's revoked. But again, we are focusing this video message on the Greater Atlanta, Georgia Black Lives Matter. So I'm going to, I'm sorry. I'm going to demonstrate the investigation process that I use to get the answers to the questions that I just showed you. Again, I'm going to demonstrate how I get the answers to the questions. And I think it's very important for me to do that, because I don't think I should just tell you the answer. Of course, I know the answer, I've done the research, but I want to walk you through the steps that I use to get the answers, so that if you want to go back and do some more investigations, at least you will have a path to follow. And also, I believe it gives credibility to what I'm saying when I show you how I get the answers. So if you will allow me just a few moments, I'm going to pause the screen while I pull up the next set of information or websites that I need to share with you to prove what I am saying. The first place I'm going to go is to the Secretary of State's office in Georgia, the Georgia Secretary of State's office, to show you the status of Black Lives Matter Greater Atlanta. So just one moment. Now you are looking at the Georgia Secretary of State's office, and you are looking at the entities that have Black Lives Matter in it, in the name, that have filed their articles of incorporation to get permission to offer services under the Black Lives Matter name or similar name in Georgia. In order to earn 501c3 status, you have to have your articles filed with the Secretary of State's office in the state in which you plan to work. So there are 5 entities that registered a name similar to Black Lives Matter with the Georgia Secretary of State's office. And as you can see, here is Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta. The control number. The business type is a domestic nonprofit corporation. Here is the address. And here is the registered agent or the person who filed the articles. And here is the status. They have an active status and they are in compliance. So I'm going to click on it, click on the link. I'm going to increase the size just a little bit, zoom in just a little bit. And now you can see the business information, Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta, Incorporated, the business type, and all of the other pertinent information about the business. The date it was formed, 3/23/2016, and the last annual registration year is 2020, this year. The registered agent information, and this is the person who's responsible, Sir Major Page. The physical address where they live or where the business resides, either or, in the county is Fulton County. And then you have the officer information, Nikia McCorvey, CFO, Patrick Newbill, Secretary, and Sir Major Page is the CEO. And then if you want to look at the filing history, you can look at the filing history of the organization. But I just wanted to walk you through the steps so that you can see how the organization functions, or its status rather, with the Secretary of State's office. And you could just look at the filing history. And there was a notification in June of 2019 that it was dissolved or either revoked. And then in August, it was revoked, you see? And then in August 2019, it was dissolved, an administrative dissolution took place. And then in August of this year, 2020, it was reinstated. They completed whatever was needed to reinstate it. So it's been reinstated, and you can click on that. And this is probably the reinstatement letter that I'm getting ready to open. But you see how you can just do research to find information about these organizations. You don't have to trust their word. You can do research and learn for yourself. So here is the reinstatement, certificate of reinstatement of Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta, a domestic nonprofit corporation, was formed on 3/23/2016 and later administratively dissolved on 8/26/2019. Said entity has filed an application for reinstatement and has paid all has paid all fees and penalties due to the Secretary of State. And so this is letting you know that they've been reinstated as of 8/14/2020. So again, you don't have to trust what people tell you. You can find out the information on your own. I know it takes time, but you can find out on your own. I'm going to pause the screen now so that I can go to the IRS website to check the status there of on the IRS website. So thank you for your patience as I pull up that information. Now, if you've been following me through these investigations, you know I always go to IRS.gov and I go to the tax exempt organization search page so that I can search organizations to determine their status. And you can do this for any organization. If someone is asking you to make an investment in their nonprofit organization, just ask for their organization name or their, as I have here listed in the search by organization name, or you can search by employer identification number. But you can search. So I've already I've typed in Black Lives Matter, and I've already clicked on search, and here are the results. There are 14 entities that has a variation of Black Lives Matter that have earned 501c3 status. They've gone through the process to be here on this page, means they've gone through the process to earn 501c3 status. So I'm going to go to Black Lives Matter. I don't know what this VT means. Limited, I guess. And here is Sir Major Page, the person who started it. And right away, I know the status is revoked because I see the auto revocation notification here. That means the IRS revoked the 501c3 status, probably because they didn't file the appropriate Form 990 information return for 3 consecutive years. But I'm going to click on it nevertheless so that you can see when it was revoked. Now, they have a determination letter to show when they received 501c3 status, and I'm going to open that up quickly so that you can see it. And this is all a part of investigating. This is all a part of the process of investigating a nonprofit organization, just to make sure that you are investing in the right organization so that you can see where your money actually goes. So here is their original determination letter. The determination letter is dated August the 8th, 2017. However, their effective date of exemption was March 23rd, 2016. So that's when the clock starts in terms of when you should submit your Form 990 information return. Not the date of the letter, but the effective date of exemption. And this can cause so many people to lose their status because the IRS uses your effective date of exemption as the date in which you were formally formed, regardless to when you got your letter. That's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Their accounting period is December 31st. Okay, so they use the fiscal year of December 31st. And then here is the content of the letter. So this is what the determination letters look like. And I call them approval letters, but the official name is determination letters. So this lets them know that they've received 501c3 status. I'm going to pause the screen and I'm going to go to another tool that I use. I'm going to go back, I'm going to go back to IRS.gov so that you can continue looking at the results of the IRS status. So now we've already looked at the determination letter. Let's go down to look at when they were revoked. Okay. They have an exemption type or had an exemption type of 501c3. And there are many, well, not many, but several exemption types. And 501c3 is definitely the most advantageous one if you want a broad range of abilities to generate revenues. You want 501c3. And it's the most popular one as well. But as you can see, there are several 501c designations. Okay. All the way down to 501c29. Okay. So you will have to choose the one that best suits what your organization will represent. But the most popular one is by far 501c3. So they did have that designation, but the IRS revoked their status on May 15th, 2019. And they posted it on the website on August 12th, 2019. So they revoked it in May, posted it in August. And what happens is when your status is revoked, you will receive a letter letting you know that your status has been revoked. It is in past tense. It has been revoked. So there's no, what can I do? Nothing except apply for reinstatement. And you can reinstate your nonprofit organization, but you have to go through the whole process again as far as applying the whole application process again, plus some extra things you have to do regarding the reinstatement piece. But you can be reinstated. I've helped people get reinstated before. I have experience doing that. But one thing to bear in mind is when you are reinstated, guess what? This never goes away. The revocation date and the revocation posting date, they never go away. They remain on your record forever. The only thing that changes is the exemption reinstatement date. They would put a date of reinstatement here, but these two items here, they will never go away. So people who want to invest may have questions regarding, why were you revoked? Okay, so now I'm going to pause the screen and I'm going to go to his or the local, you remember I have a question about social media, right? I have a question about social media, whether or not they have it. So I'm going to now share with you their social media page, which is a Facebook page. And this is the activist, Sir Major, the activist who started Black Lives Matter. This is his Facebook page. And the reason that I went to that is because the website page doesn't exist anymore. The website page does not exist. And here it is. I've gone to the website page and it says this site can't be reached. Black Lives Matter, greateratlanta.com. Okay, so I'm guessing he just did not maintain the website for whatever reason. Okay, so it's one more thing I want to share with you. So I'm going to pause the screen before we go back to the PowerPoint. And I thank you so much for your patience and allowing me to do this, because I think it's important, once again, like I said, to share this information with you so that you can see the results of what I'm sharing. But I think I'm just going to go back now to the PowerPoint. I think I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint and just resume from there. There was something else that I started to share, but I'm not going to do it. What it was an article or online report about Sir Major and the fact that the Black Lives Matter Atlanta division, does not want anything to do with him. The article stated that he just creates a lot of trouble. They claim that he's homophobic, that he is a troublemaker, and that they have really tried to remove themselves from being associated with him. And they want to make clear that he is not representing Black Lives Matter Atlanta. Well, the name he used was Black Lives Matter Greater Atlanta. But anyway, the Black Lives Matter Atlanta division does not want anything to do with him. And there was an article that I was going to show you, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going. So here are the answers. Here are the answers to the Greater Atlanta, Georgia Black Lives Matter investigative answers. Leadership name, yes, it was Sir Major Page. Mailing address, we saw that on the Secretary of State's office page, and the phone number. He does have a social media presence, even though he doesn't have the label of Black Lives Matter on it. He does have a social media presence in the form of a Facebook page. He is registered at the Secretary of State's office, and it was just reinstated in August last month. He does not have a 501c3 status. It's been revoked. And I couldn't find where he would be accepting donations. I didn't see anything about him accepting donations. So I can't say that he's doing that. So therefore, there's not a donations processor. And then I don't know where the money is. If he accepted any money, there's no record of it. I don't know where it is. So these are the results for Greater Atlanta, Georgia, as well as all of the results of other organizations, as you can see here, that I've investigated so far. So where do I stand as far as Black Lives Matter is concerned? I am a Black woman. I was born and raised in South Carolina. So here's where I stand. I support the Black Lives Matter slogan. I support it wholeheartedly. However, I do not support the Black Lives Matter movement, protests, chapters, or entities because they do not have formal leadership structure, measurable goals or objectives, standard operational practices, financial transparency or accountability, or a valid sustainability and long-term plan. So I can't support an organization that falls short in all of those areas because you don't know where your money is going. You don't know how your money is being used. If you had a problem, who would you call? You don't know who's in charge. So I can't support organizations like that. Who would I support? A lot of people ask me, well, who would you support? I would support the Equal Justice Initiative. It provides legal resources to help people who are incarcerated get out of jail if they are innocent. That's their primary focus. And it's led by the great Brian Stevenson. So if you're looking for a place to donate your money to make a change, I recommend this organization, the Equal Justice Initiative. So you just go to the donate button on their website, which is www.eji.org. Thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. It's Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions, and I do more than investigate Black Lives Matter. My primary job actually is to help nonprofit professionals start, fund, manage, sustain, and reinstate 501c3 nonprofit organizations. So if you need help in those areas, please visit my website at trustsusanwoods.com. Please also help me promote these hashtags, BLM Investigations and hashtag defund Black Lives Matter. We need our money to go into the Black community. People have invested millions of dollars in Black Lives Matter. And do you see any changes in your community from Black Lives Matter? Have you seen any signs near a community project that says sponsored by Black Lives Matter? I haven't either. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you like what you see, if you would give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to click on the bell so that you can have notifications of when I provide or when I upload new videos. Again, my name is Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. My website is trustsusanwoods.com. Thank you so much for your time.